It looks like an invitation. Who could have sent it? Does Don Hong have any friends on the Luofu? If Pom Pom remembers...
Unlikely. If the general...
Why don't you show Don Hong the letter? You know?
What is it? Do you... There's no signature. And it doesn't mention a time or a place. Looks like whoever's... Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them. The handwriting does seem like that of a swordmaster, but blade would have gotten straight to the invitation. This is too mysterious. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Don Fang's past should be handled with care. Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a what if he didn't send the letter. Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jingliu would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Don Hong.
Greetings. I need to speak to the general.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Dan Heng. Do you recognize the person?
I can't say that I know her, but she does look a little familiar.
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were what that is Jingliu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jingliu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said her surrender came with one condition, that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jingliu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Dawn. When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the shackling. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
I recognize you, but I can't remember anything. Memories of my past life are like shattered glass. I can't piece together the reality from the individual show.
I can't remember. The words of every person who hopes to escape their past. The Vidyadhara rebirth normally erases all memory of the previous life. However, you have retained fragments of your past, as well as the powers of the High Elder. If my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibitor Lune's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the Multine rebirth and turned you into what you are now.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Vidyadhara girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends, and to... Jingyuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of... But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes.
For security purposes?
The Stellaron's descent. The Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection. The Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that your behavior truly is puzzling.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I...
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Lawcha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shulin for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the General. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jingliu.
We can head out now. I would.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has imbibed Luné. You must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life. Accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through it.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs he wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Baihung, the Foxian pilot?
Baihung. Think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky.
Imbibiter Luné, if memories are returning to...
I think she was one of Imbibiter Luné's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibiter Luné and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now.
Huh? You mean the Foxian souls?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the void. As for procuring a star skiff, I know...
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
No need to worry about the two of us.
We've arrived. All ship production. Just enter the command into the device.
You like to read?
Hey, I don't read much, but the general forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training.
That's right. Baihung was the one who wrote that travel.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had... I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? And I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth. Very few star skiff. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst, luck is a type of strength, after all.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskip assembly line has been activated. The Starskip will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait.
Thank you.
See, the Starskip is complete.
After being away from the Luofu for so long,
So, what happened to Baihong in the end?
in the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here. In Bybiter Lune, do you still...
Did Dun Feng fight?
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Danfeng's imminent arrival. General Tang Xiao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troops, but Bai Heng didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal, and no different from the soldier next to her. You ran a fair share of errands for her, and she would let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Heng, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the rich. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all for the Cloud Knights. Giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you... There is no need to respond. In Bybiter Lune, your answer is no longer important.
God, sound old.
Bai Heng, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the... I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars. Let's go. The artisanship commission is next. Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see...
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own...
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard...
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contact?
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna...
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the...
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's
Like you never forgot.
That's all you got?
Time to show you what I can really do. Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. What? Yes!
I venture forth to hunt. Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Ready to shine.
The fear is not fear.
Oh, I
Come on already. What took you so long then?
Don't get anxious, Imbibiter Lune. We have all the time in the world. The moon shines on the truth. This spear still recognizes you as its master. Do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
I venture forth to hunt. Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Tedious. Later. All will be revealed. Lunar flame.
You'll make good practice. Awesome! Time to show you what I... Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. What? Yes!
The fear is not fear.
Nowhere to run.
I venture forth to hunt. Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do with his sins. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Combat is like smelting, purging. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Out of all of us, you were the closest to him.
This spear is...
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the master craftsman. He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only a...
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep...
So,
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He transformed into a...
Correct. Such are the twists of destiny. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make the most ill-advised. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid in Bibiter Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became...
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave him 7. We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the Abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished in the cycle of life and death.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the shoe.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shuling and stand before the 6 generals, even the marshal. That, and the purpose of the
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingliu. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge waterscape.
What a surprise!
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors.
Those symptoms don't sound like my... who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. You start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a... Your hand! It's freezing! Please wait. Your friend here has a very peculiar... Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally...
She won't live much longer.
Let the healer make the professional. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might...
Today's her last day in the Luofu.
What a shame. She could stay for a few days. Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. It won't cure her, but I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things Tanhung. You mind coming with me to...
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady?
No. No trouble.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around here. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There is an even bigger monster protecting this one! When did so many...
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady.
Someone else take this one? Nice job!
Fangs and claws got dull.
Tedious.
So this is why your hands are so cold! Way to shine! Yeah! Never hesitate! Oh, I get it!
Later.
This isn't something normal flesh could withstand.
Lurid flame.
That's what you got? Nice, like a good brew. Full-bodied and sweet, my friend. Indulge yourselves!
White tiger, less cards! What? Yes!
Triumphant! Victory is inevitable! Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Yes!
The fearless will not fear!
All right, let me make sure nothing is missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and cheese strengthening infusions are here. Apologies again for the delay.
Very well. The fate of a long life
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Luofu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. You all presented with signs of you don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind, and yet I still have many unfinished fulfilled.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold all I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am, thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Maybe, by the way, among those you've treated in recent days.
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for...
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword with him at all.
He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor.
He's probably looking for a Well then, it would seem that everything... Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the five of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, how sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friend, soon I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final fare. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Luné, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Luné in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Luné. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Xing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading. High Cloud Quintet. It is time to say a wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness. Jingliu, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will... I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-like reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the two of you beforehand.
Jingliu, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy but in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all... No matter. I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once.
不过罗富明这 fucking 那一个 strong。 I think the rest do though. I wonder if she's not alive.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted and pierced, sliced. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do, it's as if they're saying, why? I know that you have no interest, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword. The miraculous thing is that in my brief, like when we drank to drown our sorrows. Imbibiter Lunae.
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own. Just as we did back then, I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me. The memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable, maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone new reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true... Yes. It has been a long day for you.
Dunhung, the General wants me to forget about... I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Goodbye for now, Dunhung.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be...